So you're the smoke show mom, right? And like you're doing all these things and like, getting hit on all the time, probably, whatever. Story of our lives, you know what I'm saying? Uh, but okay. So then pandemic happens and then what's going down?
So my kids' school initially went, okay, they're going to be out of school for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And my husband immediately was like, that's bullshit. They're not going to go back after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it went from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, 4 weeks to 6 weeks. And then they went, school's canceled indefinitely.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I am not going to sit here for God knows how long with my kids doing online schooling every single day when there's daycare centers that offer education that are right down the street that will take them
Yeah.
in. And
Yeah.
so I put them in there just so that they weren't sitting at home all day. And then I had downtime. And I was like, okay, what the hell do I do? And
Yeah.
so my husband suggested Chaturbate, and I really liked the idea of it. And so, because I watched it, because at first I was like, what the hell is Chaturbate? I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah.
And so I watched some people do it and I was like, okay, I really want to do this. So that's when I started. So I started in May of 2020.
So can you kind of, for those, not for Justin and me, because we're cool and we're hip and we're into it, but can you kind of give like a rundown as to what is Chatterbait?
So Chaturbate is a online site where guys, girls, couples, trans, whatever you're into, it's a sexual site. So it's camming. So you're stripping for money, you're doing sexual acts for money. So you have like a tip menu and you'll be like, okay, take my top off for 500 tokens, or you
Mm.
have goals for tokens and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I did in my spare time from like the morning hours until the afternoon, is I
What
stripped on camera and did sexual acts for people on camera.
what kind of things were you doing on Chatterbait? Like just like strip teases and things like that?
Strip teases, masturbation, stuff like that.
Yeah. Did your husband ever get involved or was it just you?
He never got involved. He has since made my debut with Jack and Jill. So he never got on camera with Jack and Jill, but he's been on camera just for fun with Blonde and Silver Fox, who are another big couple on Chaterbate.
Yeah.
But he never did anything sexual. It was just kind of our little toy for the evening.
Oh,
We
good for
tied him
him.
up. We tied him up. We tortured him, stuff like that.
Oh man, sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So then Chatterbait and like so were you seeing like success with Chatterbait?
I did, but it kind of ran out of steam like a year into it, or not almost a year into it,
Why
like
would you say it ran
6
out of
months into
steam?
it. It was a pain because I don't have an extra room in my house to leave all my equipment up for Chaturbate. Because like
Oh,
for
I
Chaturbate, you got
see.
to have a cam, lighting, a mic,
Yeah. Yeah.
toys, lingerie, like all this stuff. And every
Yeah.
time I was done, I had to clean everything up, put everything away, and
Yeah.
then I'd have to repeat the process. So I was like, this is crap.
Yeah.
So what changed for me was I contacted Jack and Jill on a whim, thinking I would never hear back from them because I know they had people on their show every weekend
Yeah.
and they wanted me on their show. So in October of 2021 was when I did my first threesome ever on cam with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was your so I mean, can we ask like was this a discussion that you had with your husband and he was okay with it? Like what went down?
Yeah, so we discussed it and he was like at the time, which is so funny now, he's like, "Okay, this will be the only guy you can have sex with on camera ever." Of course, that changed really quick.
Right. Sure.
But and at the time too, right before I cammed with Jack and Jill, I started an OnlyFans too. Which I was kind of late to the OnlyFans train because
Right.
some people really were raking in the cash.
Yeah.
Um, and but yeah, I was a little late to that. But as soon as I did the Jack and Jill show, my OnlyFans blew up, and so I didn't have to do Chatterbait anymore.
Nice. Very cool. And what were was your husband on you with OnlyFans or was it just you or were you inviting like different actors in or what was going on?
Well, at first it was just me. It
Okay.
was just well, at the time, I was using my husband as a prop in the very beginning,
Uh-huh.
but you didn't have to tag anybody in the very beginning. Now you have to tag someone. So that was a big thing. He didn't want to make an account and all that kind of stuff. So I did a few shows with Jack and Jill. I've actually done like, let's see, 4, 5. I've done 5 shows with Jack and Jill. So, and then just this year is when I started doing collabs with other guys. And then it wasn't until July of this year is when I did my first pro scene.
Nice.
Still kind
Okay.
of, it's still kind of new for me.